Greetings, ghouls, goblins, and glam monsters, and welcome to
Red from the Dead. We're your haunted hosts, Drew the Drag Clown.
And not in drag. But you know me as your favorite glamour demon, Jackal Morose.
And on this week's episode, we will be judging the monsters' Blood Moon Fang Bang performances and their floor show fashions.
As a reminder, we're not here to judge their drag. Drag is art, and art is subjective. What we are here to do is fill you with anticipation.
Say it.
We entered this week's laboratory, awaiting to see who will grace our screens. Will it be Cynthia or will it be Blackberry? Luckily, it is everyone's favorite demon, Cynthia Doll, returning with a good morning!
And the Boulets issue this week's challenge, and it is the least liked challenge by the fans in Boulet history. And that is the Bousical. How did you feel about the season 6 Snake Pit Bousical?
Welcome to the snake pit. Gonna eat you bitches alive.
Well, as someone who applied for that season, I was actually really jealous they got to do that challenge because let me tell you, I am a theater kid through and through, and I would have slayed at it, not gonna lie.
Honestly, I believe you. I 1,000% believe you. Working with you, I know exactly how you are, and you would eat this. You love a lot of like musicals, especially the creepy kind, such as the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And this week we will actually be doing the Boulet Brothers Horror Picture Show.
It makes me a shiver and quake.
And this time it is Mother Swan who is assigning the role.
Because Mother knows best.
Is there a specific role you would have wanted? Or that would have suited you?
Honestly, I would have either loved to have been a vampire or the preacher.
I see you as a vampire, 100%. I think I would have been fun to do Brad. It's so stupid, and I love stupid.
It is always fun to let loose with a campy role.
Let loose, baby, let loose! So we get to this week's floor show, and let's talk about the looks.
Specifically, Dracmorta and Swanthula. What were your opinions on their looks this week?
Well, we got one out of their two looks that we got to discuss, and their first look, it was flat hair. It was, like they said, actually, Sabrina Carpenter-ish kind of wiggy, and the red contacts, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first time we've seen them in red contacts specifically. It's always the white or black.
Sweet.
And it kind of threw me off, but I think I also kind of enjoyed it. I don't know. What are your opinions on their looks?
I thought it was very pretty, it was very vampy, it was very fun, but it does not compare to the absolute iconic look that they had during their judgment because it was giving like classic Rocky Horror. It just reminded me of Magenta.
Oh yeah, totally. It also reminded me of like the Bride of Frankenstein with the way that they had the updo hair as well as like the side track coming up with it. This is the better look in my opinion, and I'm glad that they presented it to you.
I just wish we would have got a runway of it.
Honestly, yeah, we should have gotten that.
Yes.
But I get it. For TV continuity, it needed to be the way it was.
First up, we have Abora. And I'm just gonna say, I love this look. I thought it was fantastic. And also, it kind of reminded me of like a mix between the Count from Sesame Street, only like pink, and Frankenfurter.
Oh, yeah, totally. I see both of those. If they had a love child, this is Abora. Absolutely.
One transvestite. Two Transvestite.
And it kind of actually reminded me of like Disasterina. And I think
Yeah.
if we got to see her interpretation in this challenge, it would be very similar, very akin to the way that Abora handled it.
Oh, there would have been twinning vamps on stage, and I would have lived for it.
And then we get to Jaharia. And I gotta say, her interpretation of Frankenfurter was so good. I loved this. It was kind of like Betty Boop meets Frankenfurter meets like, I don't know, this bus driver wig. It was just perfection.
Chef's kiss, and also that reveal was so smooth.
Oh, yeah, the way that
Just
she
the-
did it. Oh. Flawless.
Tens across the board. Following Jaharia, we have JK, who really put the rock in Go Rocky.
And this was like this week's thumbnail. And when we first saw it, I was like, oh, Mama is stamped. I loved it, even though I had no idea what it was. Love, 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 love.
It was so good and seamless. Like the blending between the makeup and the bodysuit, like you could not tell the difference.
And speaking of bodysuit, that actually reminded me of season 6, Pie, the Frankenhooker challenge. The way that it was so like muscular and disproportionate. It was just like everything referential. And then we get to Sigourney Beaver, and I gotta say, I thought she looked stamped, she looked good, but it wasn't until Swanthula pointed out that she looked like her season 4 finale, I was like, oh, this is the same, just inverted in color, and I couldn't unsee that.
Honestly, though, it was only the coat. The reveal was completely Rocky Horror. It was very Frankenfurter, and I really enjoyed it. Like, the body was tea, and the makeup, just like you said, it was absolutely stamped. After the lovely Sigourney, we have Cynthia Doll slithering up the runway in this amazing mad scientist look. I loved it. I thought it was so campy. I thought it was couture. I thought it was absolutely amazing too, with the effect of the balls.
Yes,
the
this
electric
is-
balls. That was absolutely amazing.
To like 10 out of 10, and not something I ever would have expected from Cynthia to pull out of her like outfits. This is so left field in the best way. It is so campy, it is so creative, it is so kooky, it is so couture, it is so jaunty.
Yes,
Loved it. Loved it. 8. Mwah.
I think it's my favorite.
We get to Eva, and she ate with this look. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit biased, being a clown.
Calciferese.
But I love the ruffles, I love the design, I love the overall look. It was just, and the way she painted her makeup, it was so good.
It really was a flawless look. Although not completely like Rocky Horror-esque, like
True.
it was giving more Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
True.
but I do have to give props. This was a completely realized look. It was seamless, it was flawless, and she really played into the character, which, you know, I love it when someone plays into a character.
And then we get to the best part of the entire show, the performance, and it is the Boulet Brothers Picture Show. Now, I loved the entirety of this performance, this
Oh.
creation.
It was so good from start to finish to completion. It was just so good. The vocals were amazing. The choreo was stunning. The characterization.
Now, if they really wanted to torture us, they would have had them do like the vocals live in that moment. But I did notice it was recorded and that they were lip syncing to it. But to be honest, it actually sounded very similar to what the actual character would sound like when they're singing. Not something overproduced like we've seen in other places.
So starting off, we have Sigourney, JK, and Cynthia having a little gospel moment in this Bousical. And I have to say, like, I didn't even recognize Cynthia at first, like with this Bieber wig. This is the most out of drag that I've ever seen Cynthia Doll, and it was amazing.
I honestly kind of thought it was like some production assistant or something that was just like playing a part for them, kind of how they do in other shows. But it was amazing. I loved it. It was so stupid. The bus driver wig on her, loved it.
And that is the power of dragon theater.
Oh, tea. And I really gotta say, I loved the way that they used the ghostly gallows for the vampires and their entrance. Having the levels of the show kind of like bringing you all the way up there, it gave them power, it gave them dominance, and it really showed like a stage presence and what drew me into the entire Bousical. Like, that's what captivated my attention.
Yes, I agree 100%. It really made me shiver and quake.
And from an audio standpoint, I gotta say the moment with Sigourney and Jaharia was so beautiful, like to the ears. Like they just harmonized so well and also just sound really, really good together in general.
Yes, their voices definitely were very complimentary of each other, and it really was a treat.
Now, JK didn't sing anything. Do you feel any certain way about JK's performance in this?
Honestly, like, you don't have to sing in order to be in a musical. I know. Crazy opinion.
It's
but
theater.
Yes, it is theater. And the way that JK played up their character, like, as this, like, preachy sermon, like, hallelujah, like, that was a musicality within itself.
And Abora and Cynthia having their little campy, sexy moment together.
Ugh.
This is actually when I noticed that this was Cynthia. And I gotta say, they worked so well together, too.
So well.
And then Eva and her performance.
Oh, dominating.
She knew no matter where she was on that stage, she could be at the back of the stage and she's literally drawing your attention. She just knew these slight little mannerisms that were just perfect to the character.
Honestly, though, like, Eva's performance was outstanding. I can see her playing, like, a role like Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. In fact, I want to see Eva Destruction play Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show because, oh my god.
She would do so good.
So good.
And what went from arguably my least favorite episode went to probably my most favorite episode into the entire franchise. This was so good. And I gotta say, bravo to Swan for her direction. Bravo to Casey for her choreography. And bravo to the music producers and writers of this entire, like, production.
So, Drew.
Yes.
Who was your monster of the moment this week?
Well, Hong Kong, obviously, I think the clown maybe sold it for me. Also, Eva's performance sold it to me. Like, everything she did this week. Everything she did this week. We'll get to that part too. Everything she did this week. Everything she did this week. I loved Eva this week.
Well.
Who is your monster of the moment?
Look-wise, I'm gonna have to say Cynthia Doll. I absolutely am obsessed with that look and the use of the pink triangle. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Balls off to you.
Clock that to you. Mwah.
Now, as for performance, it's a tie with yours.
Oh, yeah, Eva.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
I can't help it. It literally, like, Eva was literally giving Frankenfurter energy.
Tim Curry would be very proud.
Oh, yes.
So who was your floor show fatality this week? Who didn't necessarily perform the best or live up to your standards?
Ooh, you know what? That is so hard, and it is literally splitting hairs at this moment because everybody did so amazing this episode. I wouldn't even know who to name. Like,
honestly,
J.K. Shu.
Yes. J.K. Shu, not J.K.
Not J.K. J.K. Shu.
And I feel as if, like, the Boulets didn't even know themselves who they wanted to put in the bottom. And so they only chose one top, one winner, and that winner is Eva Destruction. And she gets to use the Sonic Transducer.
which is the power to eliminate and disintegrate on spot a fellow competitor.
Ooh! Now they go back to the cauldron where they get to discuss and plead their case.
And a lot of it was very heartfelt, very cute, until we got to the meat of it, and
That meat was Sigourney. And I don't necessarily know if it's fair to pit yourself against your competitors and pleading your case rather than just pleading your own individual case. But this is where it got a little messy.
And I do have to say, like, I love Sigourney. She is very sweet. I've worked with her a couple times. And like she dealt with so much fucking shit and misogyny in her original season that it's understandable she went into this with her claws out and fangs bared and like ready to fight the fight. Unfortunately, like you said, it did get a little bit messy. However, it's almost felt like she had to keep her guard up this entire season.
Yeah, but this isn't brand new knowledge that we're hearing from even the other competitors. Like, hey, Diva, this is how you're maybe going to be perceived. This is like how you're even being perceived in the moment. And she could have used that as a learning opportunity.
Yes, but also it is really hard to regulate one's emotions and feelings when in a competition setting. But at least she did not pull a Dahlia.
So true. And when Jaharia spoke up, she listened. And that is huge, and that is growth. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily growth, but that is huge. She is a bigger person for allowing that space for another person to speak their truth.
And it's an important truth because really it is two halves of the same coin. A lot of the times, like, performers who are alternative and who are Black or Indigenous or of color, like, they will not have the same performance opportunities that a cis white gay man will have. And same thing with femme performers or AFAB performers. Like,
and also, Jaharia did say one thing, and this is the one thing that really sold me over into why I personally would have eliminated Sigourney. She's already been to a finale. No one else in that room has had that opportunity, and I think that for that reason alone, I would have eliminated Sigourney.
I would have loved to have seen another finale from her, though.
Yeah, I just wasn't necessarily impressed this entire season, so as much as I was in her first season. Because she impresses, just not as much as where I was. And so the time comes for Eva to use the Sonic Transducer. And she chooses to evaporate Sigourney. Whops. Sorry, girl, but the reaction she had, oh, that was gold. The editors, I love you.
Oh, the editors are being shady this season.
And I love it. Keep feeding it to us. Yeah, another audio clip recording of kind of what we hear backstage. And I'm glad that Sigourney has spoken up about it since then on her Instagram story. And we will hold her accountable to that. What she has said in the most recent moment, we will hold her accountable to. Not what she said on a TV show filmed 6 months ago.
And obviously distraught and in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
we're human.
Exactly. We all make mistakes. We all have our flaws. We all have outbursts. And again, it's a competition.
And we get to the Hellbound Showdown. And finally, a moment without a disqualification. Well, we can breathe.
But wait, we haven't seen Vander Von Odd in a hot minute.
Oh. What do you mean by that?
Oh, I'm just joking. I'm being a brat.
Oh. I thought you had some Reddit tea, some Reddit lore.
Oh, no. Like I said, I'm just being a brat.
And hopeful thinking. And we get to Priscilla and Blackberry's Hellbound Showdown, and they pit themselves against each other, and I feel as if Priscilla ate this down.
I agree 100%. Priscilla really was giving a sweet transensual experience.
The look was perfect, especially for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And meanwhile, Blackberry's look, I felt like she was a lip sync assassin kind of a look. Not necessarily something that translated to the world that we're creating in this Bousical
Yeah.
scenario. So for me, I don't know if I would have necessarily kept Blackberry, but that is what Boulet chose.
I think this is the one time that I did not agree with the Boulets for the Hellbound Showdown. I wanted to see more from Priscilla.
Yeah, I honestly thought, I mean, I've basically said this every single week, that I thought Priscilla was going to make it all the way to the end.
And now, Ghouls and Goblins, it is time for the Crypt Keeper comments. And our first comment comes from Ezra the Homie. Love the name.
I do too, that's fun.
Yeah. And Ezra says, anyone else upset at the horrible audio mixing in this week's episode? Like, Boulets, this is so late into the game. We are 8 seasons into the franchise, and the music was so loud, it was hard to hear dialogue. Best part of the episode was Abora talking to a pig. LMAO. And I love that Sigourney got her first win. Anyways, lovely review. I hope Cynthia stays. Blackberry is a great artist with a huge vision, but I love my dramatic ghoul, Cynthia.
Ezra, you have so many correct points.
Yes.
And oink, oink, oink. Thank you for reminding us of that little pig moment.
That was such a cute little moment, too.
Yeah, it really was.
There's actually quite a few cute moments where Abora's just been tugging at my heartstrings lately.
And then we have the AZ, A-A-Y-I-Z-E. Is that how we pronounce it? The Ies? Anyways, loves the Canadian accents. Dragula. You have me recontemplating my entire life and how we say Dragula.
It's Dragula.
Dragula?
Dragula.
Dragula. So, thank you for giving me a complex on that one.
It definitely did not keep Drew up at night. Or did it?
2 nights.
And that, my darlings, was this week's descent into Dragula madness.
If you enjoyed the gore, the glamour, and the gutting reads, make sure that you like and subscribe right now.
And leave a little blood offering in the comments.
And we might just read those Crypt Keeper comments next week.
Until next time,
stay deadly.
Hello everyone, Jackal here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Read from the Dead as Drew and I review Dragula Titans Season 2. I'm going to take a moment to talk about Canadian politics. As today, the day that we're recording is November 20th, which is Trans Day of Remembrance. I'm bringing to highlight something that our provincial government has done within the past 24 hours, and that is push forward a bill called Bill 9, which makes use of the Notwithstanding Clause, targeting trans youth and pushing forward anti-trans legislation. This is a horrendous use of governing power that will lead to irreparable harm towards queer youth within Alberta. What can we do about it? We can contact our MLAs, we can organize through community, and we can go and follow Skipping Stone, Momentum Canada, and QCU to keep up to date on actions that we can do, whether that be petitions or email campaigns. It is not too late to win this fight. Only together can we make sure that trans youth stay safe. Thank you so much for your time. And remember, trans rights are human right, baby. Stay deadly.